Hi. So I wanted to share my experience with the dreaded colonoscopy. I actually had to have an endoscopy, which is this way, and a colonoscopy, which is the other end. I had to do them both yesterday. And me being the way I am, like not wanting to take chemicals and all that kind of stuff, it was very much a challenge for me because I don't use laxatives and things like that. So hold on one second. I'm just going to grab something. Sorry about that. So Saturday, was it Saturday? Yeah, my colonoscopy was yesterday. It was Monday. So Saturday night, I decided I would take the cleansing things that they tell you to take, the prep stuff. I did some research at first, and I was like, well, maybe I can just do an enema, or maybe I can do magnesium citrate, which I take all the time, and it doesn't really work that great for me. So I thought, well, I better just do what they tell me and hope that I don't have any weird reactions or anything. So it was really challenging for me mentally because I don't like chemicals in my body and all that, but I knew that I had to do this. So what I decided to do, and also I don't like buying juices, and I've had to do a colonoscopy in the past, and to try to find a clear chicken broth, even the organic stuff, I mean, there's like 50 ingredients in even the organic chicken broth and beef broth, like all kinds of powders and spices and all that, and I don't like them. So I decided to do my prep that I would make my own chicken broth from an organic chicken, which I did Saturday because I had to start prepping on doing clear liquids on Sunday. So Saturday night, I had bought an organic chicken, and I cooked that, and we ate a bunch of it, and then I took all the meat off the bone, and then I cooked the organic chicken in a whole bunch of water for about an hour, slowly, maybe a little over an hour, and then I strained it all out and got it down to just a pure broth and added some sea salt, and then I filled this jar up with chicken broth. See, I still have a little bit left that I didn't drink. And oh my goodness, it was so good. This is like what saved my life, doing the prep, like, because I need protein because I have hypoglycemia. So I drank, several times on Sunday during the night if I woke up, whatever. Well, that's another story. But so I used organic, homemade chicken broth with sea salt, and it was a wonderful, hot, salty, yummy, nourishing drink, helpful for anybody with hypoglycemia where your blood sugars drop and you don't want to just keep spiking it with the sweet stuff. I didn't go for gelatin like they say, Jello and popsicles and all that, but jury's still out for me on gelatin. I didn't want to mess with that. So, and I don't do popsicles and stuff, although you could make your own. So anyway, so I did the chicken broth for one of my fluids, and I just made my own apple juice with my my juicer. Excuse me, I'm still a little out of it from yesterday and not eating and all that stuff, but I'll tell you about that later. But anyway, I made just green apple juice with my juicer, and I think I made about this much of it, which is like, I don't know, 8 cups or whatever. So my prep, the only thing I used for my fluids were water, the chicken broth, the homemade apple juice, and coconut water. I used coconut water too, but I ended up using the coconut water as part of what I mix some of the prep with. Okay, so anyway, that's what I used for my fluids. So the colonoscopy was yesterday. I had the fluids all day Sunday, but I had to start doing the prep like around 11 o'clock on Sunday. And the first thing I had to do was the dreaded laxative, because I don't put stuff like that in my body, but I figured I had to do it. Oh, actually, the night before, Friday night, they told me I was supposed to take this milk of magnesia, which I've never had before. I was supposed to take some of this, and I decided not to, and I did this instead. Only I doubled up on it because I take this every night and it doesn't always work that great, but I love this. But so I doubled up on this on the Friday night and it didn't work for me. So I probably should have taken the milk magnesia, but you know, it all worked out. Anyway, so Sunday morning, I did end up taking the Delcalax. I took 2 tablets. I had just like a normal bowel movement within like an hour of taking that. And then a little while later, I'm not getting all the details right because I'm like spacey. But a little while later, then I had to start doing the Miralax prep. So this is the Miralax. You have to buy a container this size. Well, if that's what your doctor recommends, because there's different things. But I had to take the Miralax, and it says on the sheet from the doctor, you're supposed to mix this amount in 64 ounces of water. So my husband and I, while we were trying to figure out what 64 ounces of water was, my husband decided to pull out a gallon jug out of the refrigerator, and he said, oh, 64 ounces is a gallon. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I have to drink a gallon of fluids with Miralax in it? Oh my gosh. Well, so a gallon is 2 of these. So, and you're supposed to take 8 ounces every 20 minutes. So I put half of the Miralax in this full of water. And over a period of like 5 hours or 6 hours, every 20 minutes, I had to drink 8 ounces. And by the end of that jar, I was like, oh my gosh, I still have a whole nother jar to go. So I decided to look into ounces and stuff a little bit more. And I discovered that 64 ounces is this entire thing. So I should have had this whole thing of Miralax in this, and I would have been done. So when I discovered that now I had to, because the prep was working, but not anything like it should have been. I was still totally full of stuff and bloated and everything. So I kind of freaked out a little bit. I was like, oh my gosh, you gotta be kidding me. We did it wrong. Now I have to use a whole nother thing of this and drink that much more again. And this was like already 7 o'clock at night or something. And then I discovered I had to do it again. I was not happy about that at all. I was really, I was so upset. I was like freaking out. I at that point, I just wanted to say, forget it, I'm not doing this. But I hung in there after praying and stuff. But anyway, so what I ended up doing was I mixed this in that jar, and then whatever was left to bring it to the top, I mixed with water. I actually liked it better with just plain water because it really doesn't have any taste, but the coconut water after a while was kind of like, yikes, you can only drink so much coconut water. But it is, it gives you the electrolytes and stuff like that. So Anyway, I did it. I finished it, and then it started really working, and blah, blah, blah. So it was working so well at that point that, it was like 10 o'clock at night or something. And I was supposed to take 2 more of these, but I was pretty cleaned out. And they say you're supposed to finish your prep, so don't listen to me. But I didn't do the Dulcolax. Surprise, surprise. I never do what they tell me. Not to the letter, anyway. So I didn't do that. I had a pretty good night. I think I slept until about 3. And then I started getting up and going to the bathroom more. So Monday, had the endoscopy. Well, went in. They hook you up to they give you saline solution, and then they're going to be putting your anesthesia into that tube. So waiting was kind of nerve-wracking. I prayed a lot and asked God to help me to just surrender to the process and not be freaked out about all the crappy stuff I just put in my body and the procedure and all that. So anyway, went in there for the endoscopy. They have to put this thing inside your mouth to hold your mouth open. So they lay you on your left side. They laid me on my left side. They put that thing, they give you oxygen. They put that big plastic thing in your mouth, and the oxygen thing smells like a plastic shower liner. It's terrible. It's like chemicals are shooting up your nose. It was nasty. It was awful. But anyway, so they put that big thing in there, and then the anesthesiologist tells you that he's going to administer it, and he says it's going to burn a little bit at the site as it's going in, which it did. So I looked at the wall laying on my left side, and within like 5 minutes, like that was it. I don't remember anything. So they did my endoscopy, they did the colonoscopy. Next thing I know, I wake up, the nurse is talking to me. I thought I was still in the room where they do the procedure, and I was already in the recovery room. And I was pretty with it. But they make you lay there because during the procedure, they have to fill you with air to make the colon expand so that they can look in there better. So you're full of air. It's not, gas from undigested food and all that. So it's not stinky or anything, but you're full of air, and you have to start passing it before they'll let you out of the hospital or let you drink or eat or anything. So, that's something that's going to happen if you have a colonoscopy and you don't know that yet. You will be passing a lot of air. And even after you leave there, you'll be passing air, and you might even be passing some stuff that's not air. So be prepared that you might poop your pants. Anyway, so I got home, and I just want to share a little bit of post colonoscopy, my experience anyway. Oh, first let me tell you, so he didn't find anything bad, which is good news. There were no polyps. I mean, nothing bad, but no polyps and no cancer. But he did find a lot of things that don't surprise me, like, I don't know if you can see this or not, mild GERD, mild gastritis. He took biopsies of my small intestine, my large intestine, my stomach, my duodenum, my esophagus, my ileum. So, there's definitely some irritation and stuff going on. And he said even in my large intestine and small intestine, there's almost like a little rash in there. And he said that's common for people with food sensitivities. And he kind of described it as like a histamine kind of reaction, which doesn't surprise me because I get rashes on my body with histamine. So he said it's kind of like a rash, but it's on the inside. So I'm not really surprised about any of this stuff at all. So I have a follow-up next week. We'll see. Mainstream medicine can diagnose things, but they don't usually have the answers as far as gut issues. And now what do I do? How do I heal this stuff, So anyway, I wasn't able to eat last night. My stomach and everything is still bothering me, and my throat is sore from the thing they put down your throat. So last night, and you're supposed to go real easy afterwards anyway. Some people that have better digestion can probably eat right away, but not me. I still did the broth last night. I still did the juice. The first thing I ate was, oh, when I finally did eat, I just ate some plain white chicken meat and some steamed asparagus, no fat or anything like that. And then before bed, I ate some cooked apples, but I just felt real gassy and yucky overnight. And now today, this is the day after, I still don't feel good. Like even just drinking liquids, everything's all kind of irritated. What have I eaten? I ate an apple today. I made some fresh juice with celery and carrot and cucumber. That's all I've had today. And I'm so tiny and I've lost so much weight, and the colonoscopy just made me lose another 3 pounds. So I'm like 85 pounds right now. So I'm really hoping this feels better soon so I can start eating again and at least gain back the couple of pounds that I've lost. So, you know, it's quite an ordeal. I mean, ultimately, the colonoscopy and stuff isn't bad at all. My experience hasn't been bad at all, but the prep is difficult. And, you know, if you're like me, getting back to eating normal might take some time. So anyway, I just wanted to share this because I know a lot of people have never had a colonoscopy and they're probably scared of it and maybe feel the way that I do about, you know, chemicals and laxatives and all that kind of stuff. But I just wanted to share what I did that made it, I think, a little bit better and a little bit more comfortable. And at least I was, you know, doing more natural juices and broths and things like that. So give me a thumbs up if this was helpful, because I'd like it to be helpful, obviously. So, all right, well, take care. Have a good day. And if you have a colonoscopy, I hope all goes well. Bye.